Okay, thank you so much. So we are at the CV creation meeting actually. So for this particular session, we're going to create our CV from scratch. I've kind of done a session on this before, so we are in the middle of it. I'll share the one that we did last time. So which is this particular one where we pull for Chinedu. But for the people that are joining fresh, so I'll quickly go through this. It will be very, very fast, but I will still speak about what we discussed last time. So if you have any question, please do ask or put it in the chat. So let me ensure that the chat is enabled so that you can put your question on the chat. I'll be looking at that. So yeah, so you can put your comment on the chat. So I will be looking at that. So now to do something like this, what do you have to do? Five. Can we be muted, please? Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, go to file and then go new. Click on new. Then from here, you can actually see different templates, right? So here you can now say resume. Okay. So, and if you press enter, okay. So now you see different versions that you can use. I mean, the templates that you can use. So like I said, don't use the one with pictures. In the UK, you don't put pictures on your CV. And for me, this is my personal opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't kind of subscribe to people using the one with columns if your CV is more than 2 pages. Yeah, because with that, if it's more than 2 pages, this column would be there throughout. And you don't want that to just be there, just waste of space. So I would prefer the one that hasn't got any columns at all, right? Like this one and this one, not like this one or this one. So, and to be honest, I would say the less of the color, the better. It's possible maybe the text is color, but not like this one. This is my opinion anyway. So, but yeah, I would kind of go maybe select, yeah, like this is good. This is also is good. That one looks okay. So like this one also looks fine. So, but let's select this one. I think, yeah, which might also be brilliant. Yeah. So I think, yeah, let's go with this one, which is balanced resume, right? So, which I think is good actually. So, no, I think even this particular one as well. This is what I'm talking about, not the balanced one. This one, resume color, right? So let's take that one, right? So once you get that, it opens that, or if you double click, it doesn't open this one, right? So you have this, you can actually preview, right, to see what you're looking for. So like the next one is this one, which I think looks okay as well, to be honest, if you want to take this other one. So, but I'm going to take this one, which is the resume color. Yeah, it's done, it's by Microsoft anyway. So I'll go with that. So with that, now I've got the name. So I can put the name. So, and I say, if your name is Adedeji Oluwa, let me. So if this is your name, it looks good actually, because some of our names seem like where I come from, it's got meanings actually, and it's very, very important. We don't want to lose that. But one thing I also advise people to do is like, so to actually put a name that even everyone can pronounce, even people that are not from your tribe as well, most especially Caucasians that are reviewing your CVs will be able to pronounce it. You don't want them to pick your CV up and then because they couldn't pronounce the name, because most people want to call you by your name, and because they couldn't pronounce your name, they didn't even bother to call you. So and like my name right now, even it's Adedeji, I just use Deji for short. So on my CV, you only see Deji. So let's even say you've got like 3 names like that, right? So to be honest, for me, I don't think you need double names. Yeah, you only need your first name or your last name on your CV, to be honest. So which is sufficient. So we can lose this one actually. But let's say you now have another one. Let's say you have John, right? So and John is your middle name. So for me, I would just go with John Emmanuel so that it's easy for people to pronounce. But if you get the job later, you can just say, okay, this is what you want anyway. That's fine. So so Deji, yeah. So that is that. So basically, so and then the next thing that you want to put on your CV is your address, actually. So, and that you can put in this format: address, city, and postcode. So, yeah. So, what is the address? I would say, let's say number 5, Grace Road. Let's say it's Crayford. Okay. CR, whatever that is anyway. This is just a made up. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't exist anyway. So okay, then telephone number. What's your telephone number? 0791234, whatever that is. When I was reviewing some CVs, I saw that some people are putting +44 like that. Don't do that actually, because that kind of might give that away that maybe you're not in the UK. So, but yeah, 079, that's where your telephone number starts from, and the email address also. Yeah. So yeah, email. So let's say is, so this is also another made up one as well. So, and I think another thing why reviewing someone's CV, I saw something like this. I think, let's say 19, let's say 1950, like that. So I don't use something like that that looks like was it year, to be honest, because sometimes you're just like, okay, is year of birth or something like that. You don't want to kind of do that. But I think even though I'm also a corporate of something like that, that for people that are really, really smart, to use a name like so similar to your name as well, like Deji, Emmanuel, like that. So, and one thing that you can do is, for instance, even if your name is not on Gmail or Yahoo, which is conventional, Outlook, you might still see some of them in Outlook as well. So you can use outlook.com anyway, or other emails. So that might also be good for you. So you can then maybe change it like underscore or something like that. Sometimes it might also be better to use an email like that. So which is got your email, your name and your surname, or only your name alone, something like that. So yeah, so that is what I can say in terms of that. So, and now, so you would want to also add, for some of us that are we are fortunate, I would say, and gifted, that we have names that are not English. So sometimes when recruiter calls you, they want to ask, do you have, what's your authorization to stay in the UK, blah, blah, something like that, your visa. So I think the next thing I normally advise people is to say authorization to work in the UK. So for instance, if you got authorization, more especially if you don't require any, what's it called, any permissions or authorization, yeah. So you can actually put that in there as a you can say maybe tier blah, I don't know what that is anyway. Let's say tier 1, 2, not require permit to work in the UK. Or if you kind of, let's say you are now kind of British or you got ILR, actually you can put that in the indefinite leave to remain. Don't assume that the recruiter knows everything. You have to actually put it. The only thing that they know is like if you are British, they know you don't require any authorization to work in the UK. So if you are British, so you just put nationality, I would say. So nationality British. So, and that's that. So now moving on to objectives. So which you can write in different folds. Actually, it could be personal statement. You could write it in different ways, or profile. So, and yeah, or profile summary. Yeah. So let's just say it's even profile summary. Okay, so and you can write it in different objective also is fine as well. So or professional summary, blah blah. So for this one now, you want to kind of write something right about yourself that actually summarize who you are. And yeah, so this is very, very important. Let me quickly bring the one that we did last week on. So I'll just copy and paste that. So yeah. So 1 minute. Okay, yes. So one thing that I normally says like anything that you put on your CV should add to your profile. Do you get it now? For instance, if you don't have this number of experience, if you have less than maybe 5 years, I would just say just leave it like that. To be honest, with experience in blah blah. Do you get it now? Or I'm a QA analyst with experience in blah blah blah. Just right. But one thing I can also say, you should write like 2 paragraphs, something like that. So explain yourself. I think as a rule of thumb, like 10 lines like that should be fine, but 2 paragraphs. You want to explain what, basically, I have experience in blah, blah, blah. I have it. So I think maybe later I will, So you just want to kind of summarize what you have and everything. So this is kind of a sample of my own, which might not be for you anyway. So so that's step with that. Okay. So the next thing that you want to add is your education, right? So, and you want to actually put the degree, the date, and the school. That is there. So for me, I would kind of lose this one unless, So what is a degree? So like, I think we did do that one last week as well. So let me bring that up. So something like that is you can also use as well. So in that essence. So let's continue with the one that we're using. So now degree. So let's say you can start with the most recent one. Let's say MBA date N. So 2017. Cass Business School. I think they call it base now anyway. Normally, Cass Business School, London. Okay, so and this you can decide if for maybe more you may want to put some I did strategy, I did financial planning, or I did accounting. But for me, I think you can decide to leave that anyway. So then degree, you BSc, MSc, computer science. So date 2007, school, University of Edinburgh. Another thing, when you do copy and paste, ensure that you maintain the same format. That's another thing that's so important. So as you can see now, I've kind of lost that. So, and let me remove this part and copy and paste. So ensure that the same format is what you used actually for consistency's sake, actually. Yeah, like that now. So I can put BSc, yeah, computer science, 2005. I think so. So another thing I said, this is in Nigeria, right? So, but to be honest, for me, I would say there's nothing, you don't need to put Nigeria. So University of Ilorin, when they ask you where is it, you can actually tell them, well, okay, it's in University of Ilorin. But for me, another thing I really don't also like a bit here is that these are in capital letter. For me, maybe that is me. So sometimes I might even prefer that it is actually in lowercase, to be honest. So let's say if I use a different format. So, but yeah, but if you can, yeah, ensure that, yeah, you can do it in lowercase, to be honest. That's what I can say. So that is the reason. That is the reason I kind of prefer. Yeah, I think this one is also capital letter anyway. So, but maybe that's fine. But for me, I kind of prefer if it's not in capital letter anyway. So, yeah. So, okay. So now the next thing that you might want to also look into is your skills. Yeah. So there's different way to actually do this, right? You can say technical skills, you can say soft skills, whatever you want to say. For instance, let's say we have these skills, yeah, and ability. So, and you can say this is your technical skills. And we can put this one as soft skills. Okay, so in your technical skills, you want to itemize all those technical skills that you have. So I think we also did that last week as on the last time that we met. So I think I've got a few of the technical skills here. So which I'm going to copy, right? So I'm going to put in the new one. Okay, so something like that. So I think the spacing is too much. So I would advise that you reduce the spacing. So, and so, yeah. Okay, that is still too much. Okay. All right. So let's assume that I have a lot actually, because some of you might have a lot of skills like that. So, and you have something like that, which I think it is long, but what do you need to do? You can put them in columns, right? So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. Just kind of highlight them and go to start. Think layout. Yeah, layout is one. So you click on that. You can select whether you want it in 3 columns or in 2. I would kind of advise you do in 2. As you can see, it's kind of in 2 like that. This is one way of doing it. Another way that you can also do that is by using tables actually. So you can create tables and put them like that. And so let's say I now copy that. And I can put this here. No. Yeah, something like that. So depending on what you want, but if you use table, sometimes I would advise you to kind of remove the lines, right? You just click on it and you click on this one and then you remove the border. So which I think is really, really good as well. So you can use that approach as well. So okay. So the same thing you can do for the soft keys, right? So soft keys, like communication. So okay, let me even stop there right now. And we'll go to JobServe quickly and see some roles, right? JobServe.com, I think. Let's search for some roles. Let's say Scrum Master, for instance. Okay, and you can see these are some of the technical skills in the, no, this is not even Scrum Master. Okay, let's search for relevant. Okay, I think let's edit the search again. So I think we don't want Folkestone. We just want to search even that. Okay, all right. So this is better. So now you got some, I think this one is not got any technical skills. Let's search for another one. So yeah, this has got some skills. You can see it's got Scrum Master, Agile, blah, blah. Yeah, so you can, yeah. So if you copy that, that will form part of our skills that we've kind of highlighted. So yeah, so but Scrum Master is not a skill, so you can remove that. So Agile is a technical skill. So this is soft skill, to be honest. So you can put that in there, that you got, yeah, working with technical teams. So and you can put all this one, Jira, Confluence. So Jira, Azure, and Trello are kind of similar. To be honest, they kind of do the same thing. So if you know how to use Azure DevOps, and then you would also be able to use Jira with a little, yeah, experience. They are basically similar. So yeah, so Trello also, it's also similar to Jira as well. But for those guys in the internship, you will still be able to work with Jira. I think from next sprint, you would be exposed to Jira. So, and hopefully if time permits, we can see exposes to Trello, but they are quite similar anyway. So yeah, so let's move to next one. Yeah, as you can see, this is another experience. You can see strong, yeah, experience, communication and listening. So you can see, so those are your soft skills. So as you look at all these job requirements, you'll be seeing what you need to get soft skills. So like that. So like that. So of course, you should not just copy and paste it, and you can change it. Yeah. So yeah, leadership skill, keyword mentoring. So those are the things that they are looking for, and you want to have them in your CV as well. So that's one thing. So and yeah. So let's look down. Yeah, so as you can see, essential ones as well. So communication, interpersonal skills. So yeah. So you can add that one, you can add this one as well because we've not added it actually. So as you can see, I'm only kind of building this from scratch without having to use any CV at all. So yeah, now I can add that one, interpersonal skills as well. So yeah, so okay, I think there's some question. Okay, apologies. So can my education be last in the CV? That's a good question. So someone said, can my education be last in the CV? This is what I normally propose. I think from this format, I think is really, really good actually, because with this one, so you will have your profile page with everything that relates to you on one page, right? Then what you now have is your experience from page 2. For me, I think that is really, really good than having your education on the last part of your page, because sometimes when your experience, if it's like 4 or 5 pages, they will just be reading and reading and reading. Yeah, so before you know, then maybe they may not get to your education. So on one page, you put your education, your profile, your skills in one page, and that's it, everything done, right? So that's what I would say. So the website for free CV template, I think, yeah, there are some websites for free templates, so you can actually look for them, I would say. So, and you can, yeah, there's some of them, but for instance, you don't actually need CV template. If you know what you are doing, as you can see now, we are using a template from on Microsoft Office, and which you can just build your own. Your CV should be something that you are comfortable with, and you are the one that actually created it yourself rather than copying some from somewhere. So yeah, so thank you, Sharon. So if you go to Word and click on new and click on resume and search, you will see the template in there. So yeah, thank you. So yeah, okay. Rose, I don't understand what you mean. So he said the ATS will not pick your CV if I don't copy and paste. Yeah, I don't know what that. Yeah, but for those guys that don't know, ATS is kind of this particular tool or application that the recruiter use. I'll talk about that one later anyway. So, but if you don't copy and paste, yeah. So yeah, that's another thing actually. Maybe you're talking about the fact that it's got this format and you just need to copy and paste that format so that you don't actually, it's not distorted as well. You follow that format, because the application that they are using will be looking for a particular format like this particular template now. So you need to follow that particular format so that the tool that the recruiters are using will be able to pick up your CV actually. So that is very, very important. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one anyway. So I'll just leave the soft piece. So then bring this one into my first page. Since delete that particular cell. Okay, since now I've got this one extending to next line, which I don't want. I want everything to be in one page. What I'm going to do is I can't now change this one. Maybe I can make this into 3. Yeah, make it into 3 columns, insert another columns, and remove some parts. So let's say I bring that one in. So, and So which means I can reduce this one, delete that part, that line. So that is if you're, oh, sorry, I think I cannot delete everything. So delete rows, okay, yeah. So that I have, so another thing that I could also do here, I can put this one also in columns as well. So yeah, layout columns, make it 2 columns so that yeah, it's better. So that's another thing. But one thing I want you to do is this particular front page should only be your name, your profile, education, the skills that you have, technical skills, and also maybe your soft skills, and yeah, and your education. So that will form part of this one. So then your experience starts from the next page, okay? Okay, someone is asking if there's need to do to put training. Yes, of course, you can as well put that. So for instance, let's say for those guys and say certification. Oh, sorry. You can do something like education and certification. Okay, so and now you can put those ones in there. So let's say MC. MCST. So you can put those ones as well. So for me, I don't know. I might prefer these to be in lower cases. So let's say I do something like that for the other one, because I think for me I prefer that in this version. I know. So like now instead of this in capital letter, and I put it in lowercase MBA 2017. So base university, you can as well do that as well. So yeah, so and MSc computer science 2007. So and BSc, so computer science 2000 and whatever that is. So university. So now I can lose this one, to be honest. So yeah. So, but I don't like the space, so I can reduce this space actually. So yeah. Yeah. So that's it's together. So yeah. So yeah, you can add your certification as well. So what you, any other certification that you've got, blah blah. So I think you can, so let's say you did ISTQB foundation, then 2000 and, well, another thing that is also good, yeah, that you could also do is if you put 2007, yeah, maybe, yeah. So that's another thing, yeah, as well, which I think might also be good as well. So yeah, you put the date first. That's another thing as well, 2010. So I know some people will put month as well. So you need to be consistent, to be honest. If you want to use the month with that, so it's not like you put 1 month in some and don't put month in some. So if you are using month, let's say this is September. So, and this is May. So, and this could be April. So, and this could be June. So maybe this is February. So ISTQB software testing foundation, or you also have what's it called? Agile Scrum Master certification, then Scrum study. And also, let's say you also have business analysis certification. So, let's say it's from BCS. Okay, so you can, okay, of course, with the dates on January 2022, February 2020. So another way that you need to also look into now as we're doing this, so let me remove this. Okay, as you are doing this now, you can now decide, right, to rearrange your education, right, whether in chronological order, starting from the most recent one to say, oh, 2022 should come at the top, and you go like that. Or you want to say, I'm actually looking for business analysis role. So you can now say which one is more important, yeah, and you can also arrange it also in that order, to be honest. So that's one way to do that. Or is either you arrange by the date or by significance. So I think, yeah. So anyone you feel like you want to do, that should be fine. Yeah. So yeah, so for this one, if I arrange based on the dates, I say, okay, this goes, this is that. So this one comes after this one. Yeah. So then 2007, then these two would go to the top as well. Okay, so as you can see now, we got this covered as well. So, and that's that. So, and so I can delete this one, to be honest. So pink. But this is just a sample. So all these one, you can put different skis in there as well. So, and it doesn't have to be this much anyway. So, but one thing I can say, if you have like 12 or 14, that's fine. So I think that should be okay. So yeah. Okay, so let's bring that up as well. No, okay. Okay, so now I've got my profile page and front page done. The next one, okay. Does the certification have to be IT related? That's a good question, right? So not necessarily, it doesn't have to be IT related. So, but it has to be relevant, I would say, right? For instance, let's say one thing I saw, right? I do, let's say certification care manual handling, right? Right. So that's that. So let's say that is another certification I did in 2000. Let's say this is February 2003, right? Like that. So, and I did another one, let's say in January 2001, I did first aid training. Okay, for me, care manual handling is not related to any role that you are having, you want to have, whether software testing, BA, QA. I don't think it's kind of relevant. So by putting that in there, it won't even add to your CV, right? Even anything, it might even kind of subtract from it. Do you get it now? Anything that you want to add to your CV, you need to ask yourself, is this adding to the value of my CV, or it will subtract from my CV? That is one thing that you need to be asking yourself. So on that note, you would kind of remove that. Do you get it now? But this one is not really IT. But some roles, right, they might also want someone that you are in the office, this person is a first aider. So with that, I think it's fine. Yeah. So that should be okay. So in that, so you need to look at that and say, oh, this particular certification, would they need it in my role? Or the person that is reviewing my CV will look at, okay, this particular certification is something that we need, or we don't need it. Okay, so that is that anyway. So okay, so now as you can see, I've got issues with this one. Now it's moved down. So what do I need to do? I need to look into how I can maybe remove a part of that, but I can also as well remove this reduce this particular field, right? Okay, so that they come together. But sometimes I will put this one in bold actually, so that it's obvious anyway. So yeah. Okay, so I think okay, so I think for now the next thing that you have is your experience. So here now, as you can see, your front page is basically things about yourself. But another thing that I don't like here is this particular field. One is longer than the other, so I might need to bring this one a bit close, so that so at least they are uniform like that. So so even I can even this, if you want, you can make it into 3 or 4 columns actually, so there's still space. But this is just a quick example, because some of the tools or skills that you have might be long. So do you get it now? So you can actually leave those ones. So now the next thing is your experience. Someone has asked, how long can you go back in your experience? So I'll tell you what you need to do actually. So you might put all the experience that are relevant to your role. I don't think you need to remove anything as long as they're relevant. But if it's more than maybe 15 or 10 years thereabout, you can put your experience without having to put the job description. That's what some people will say. So now what you need to do here, I would say copy this. If you have more than, depending on how many rows that you want to add, so paste that. Done. Okay, so depending on how many rows that you want to add, you can add them, right? So with that, so now the first one is, they say job title, company, and date, which is okay, but sometimes I would kind of start with the company. I will start with the before the job title, but anyway you decide to go, which is fine. So let's go with this one now and say, what's your job title? My first job now, let's say, is a BA. Okay, business, or let's say it's a senior business analyst. Okay, and the company, let's say, it's Blue Sky. Okay, so from dates, right? So let's say from December 2022 till present. To present. Okay. So that is that. Then what comes next will be your responsibilities, right? So let's put that down. So, but before the responsibility, okay, I would say less responsibilities. Then you have your projects, and you have your technical skills, or you can say, yeah, snapshot or whatever is that is, yeah. So, and you could also then put description of the company. So Blue Sky. Basically, I think if you go and see what's on the site, you can, so would kind of put that in there. What Blue Sky? So you just put a brief description of that one in there. So just put a brief description. Now, coming about here, responsibility, then we talk about the projects, you talk about your technical skills, right? Now responsibilities. So this will be in this format as well. So just for it to be consistent. Okay. So now, what are your responsibilities? We go back to JobServe. We look at, yeah, what you need to do. So a quick example is this. So I want to, just for me to actually maintain that particular format, actually. So yeah. So yeah, so educating, coaching, agile practice, supporting team, blah, blah, blah. So most of you guys are in the internship. You can see that I've asked you to do a task where you put your responsibility. This is where it comes actually, right? So in the internship, you have almost like 120 responsibility created by different people. I think you should know what to put. You can just miss a match from different people actually, so of different teams. So, and of course you need to kind of change it. So that's so one thing I can advise is like on each of the responsibility, if you have from 10 to 15, it should be fine. But I would say maybe 12 is fine. So you just put the responsibility. But as you go along, your CV should evolve. As you go and apply for roles, you will see some responsibility and how they wrote it. And this is not my CV, but I know this. I've done this before. Now, for instance, now let's say I missed this particular one: present our appropriate technical finding to stakeholders. Oh yes, I did that in the stand-up or in the Blue Sky. So why did I miss that? So I can put that in my CV. That's okay. Right. Okay. So, but of course, don't I would advise that I don't put it word for words. Okay, so ensure that you kind of change it. Okay, so present. Okay, technical. Present technical findings to stakeholders. So maybe as simple as that, or yeah. So instead of just verbatim like that, so like that. So yeah. So, but one thing that I also want to do for those guys that related, that in technical, they've got technical background, and you want to put that. So for instance, so let's say a good example would be this one: create and share report on teams performance and objective and forecast using, let's say, you use Azure DevOps reporting for this, like that. So, and you can as well say, okay, deliver mentors and blah blah. So like for instance, let's say for the keywords, you can say create test automation. Okay, let's focus on this for, yeah, sorry, I think I've kind of lost this. So this should be Scrum Master then, because, okay, because this is basically Scrum Master role. So we can do another one. Let's say we now say this is now keyway, right? So, but before then, let's finish this one now. So now projects. So most of you have got, if not all, in the internship, you got your projects, you know the name of your project. So if someone can just shout out any of these projects for me, so that I will, yeah. So any of the project that you guys are involved in. Sorry?
Apex Tutor.
Apex Tutor. So now, first is Apex Tutor, right? So now, what do you need to do? What is Apex Tutor? So here, you will write the mandate that the PO has given to you. You explain it, at least a paragraph for that. You say, this is a platform for creating the whatever that is anyway. So I will just leave that for now. So for the sake of time, I'll just duplicate this anyway. So you kind of to kind of hold it anyway, so that it's actually stand out from the text. You might, so let me even, okay. So you might also have worked on more than one project. So can someone also tell me another project?
Prep major instructor too.
Sorry?
Prep major instructor.
Prep major. For prep major instructor, I'll just say prep major for now, right? So, but now I would not say, okay, you explain that instructor journey. Do you get it now? But I think you just say prep major, unless you want to now split it and say prep major instructor or prep major student. You get it now? But yeah, prep major will be prep major. What exactly is prep major? What did you do? You put that in there like that. So it's the same way. So, so for instance, if you can say on Longbridge Way, this is an e-commerce site, blah, blah, or this is an online training platform that does it, blah, 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 blah. So that's it. So, and that is done on that one. So technical skills. Now, this is where it becomes interesting, right? So someone will ask me, what's the difference between this and this one? I'll say it's another way to cheat the system technically, right? But it's not only cheating like that, but this one are all the skills that you've gained in all your roles, right? But this one, it's the skills that you gain in this particular role. So which might also be different from this particular role, right? So you want to say, oh, this one, I only use Agile and I use Azure DevOps. Maybe I use Balsamiq as well. Capacity planning. So, and Jira, basically. And one thing that you need to know, this is now important now, you need to be able to motivate your skills together. In most organizations, you don't see them using Jira and using Azure DevOps at the same time. You need to know your tools, how they are used, right? Because competitor tools that are competitive together, you don't use them. For instance, Azure DevOps, or where's my sign, or Jira, or version 1. There's one I mentioned before as well. What's that?
Trello.
Trello, thank you. Yeah. So there are other ones as well. So, but I've worked in a place that we've not I've used two at the same time, or yeah. But what happens is like, I think I actually moved the company from version 1 to Azure DevOps. Or I work in a place that I worked on the 2 projects, but one project was on Jira and one was on Azure DevOps. So you just need to know if you happen to put both of them, they might question that why, because you can't be using both of them on the same project unless you are on 2 projects. For instance, now, if you have this like this and you put both of them together and they ask you, oh, this particular one is on Jira and this is on Azure DevOps. That makes sense. And the same way for the keywords as well. You cannot say I am doing Java and I'm also doing C# on the same project, or I am using SpecFlow and I still use Cucumber. Unless you are saying that, yeah, there are different projects. Maybe this is Java and this is C#, this is SpecFlow. Yeah. So, but you need to know that another thing that with C# is SpecFlow and with Java is Cucumber. Okay. So you need to know how these are separate. Do you get it now? But you would put those tools there anyway. So based on that what you are doing. Yeah. So now, good thing. So we've kind of finished this now. As you can see, this is a layout. So like I said, I'm looking for 10 or 15. So yeah. So let's say I copy this one. And another thing that you want to also do is like, let it be known that everything is like 5 letter or 5 words or 6 words. Some of them should run into another line, like, okay, support the team when you require team band changes and ensuring that the capacity maintained. Move a team from non stormy Yeah, like that. Okay. So now this is what I want in your CV, like this. Now, what you now need to do is to kind of then, yeah, let me expand that. So copy that, paste it in the next one, and use it for the next role, right? For the next role, it might be, let's say, keyword now, quality, let's say it's a junior software tester. So yeah, so it's do the same thing. Let's say this is now BBC. Okay, you write what is BBC. BBC is a organization that collects our TV license, and which we don't which don't watch again. Actually, blah 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 like that. Anyway, so the same thing, responsibility. You want to put your responsibility as well. So I said, if you are looking for responsibility, like I said, a place to look is that particular task that's given to you, right? So you can miss a match from there. And another place that you can also look into is on your job application, right? You can see, so some of them will have your roles, and you can see this is a blah, blah, blah. You can mix and match from those job roles as well. So let's say we are looking for software tester. Software tester. Okay, you can see responsibility, preparing, maintaining, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, that is there. So yeah, and even the key experience is also there as well. So even if you copy this and then paste it, but of course, it's not just copy and paste like that. You need to read it and ensure that, yeah. But I would say that most of the things that you guys have written for your exercise I gave to you looks nice, actually. So yeah, so I think I've kind of, yeah. Okay, so I think that is that. So, but if you have something like this is too long, actually. So in terms of that, so I would say, like I said, 15 or 12, yeah, should be fine. So yeah, so let's remove these ones. And I know some people also could put something, if you want to do a lot, actually, that's another thing. Each one of those, you can have achievements, right? If you are up to the task, and you can put something about your achievement, but you have to be consistent with that. So you can have on your CV achievements as well. So for instance, even like this one now, so 30% automation, yeah. So this could be another achievement if you're a QA, yeah, able to automate 70% of the automation manual testing and deliver. Then also, yeah, raise 20 blocks within the prints, and eventually increasing the, yeah, just kind of achievement. Or for BA, yeah, maybe I was able to kind of deliver a particular project which is 20,000 pounds. Or for instance, I was talking to yeah, maybe it was even this team as well. I said, okay, in terms of the project, that the cost of this particular project, if you sum up everyone in your team and you multiply by the amounts that you could have paid them, that would be the worth of this particular project. So you can actually say something like that as well. So yeah, so I think, as you can see now, for 2 rows, right, this CV is already 3 pages, right? for 2 rows. So if you now have more than 2 rows, you have 3 rows, it goes like that. So some people will now ask, how long do I need my CV to be? To be honest, I don't think there's deadline, there's number. It depends on what you want to put in there. Let's say I have another one. So, okay, I think this might be now. Let's say this is September 2010. So, but you need to ensure that then if that ends, and then this is up to, it could be December as well, 2022. It could, because this is starting December as well, or it could also be November. That's another thing, because this one finished, that one started. But if you put, let's say July, then you need to explain what is the gap for, right? Because now you have this ending in July and another one starting in December, then they might ask you what is happening. Yeah. So you need to kind of prepare what you need to say. So yeah, so let's go and do another one. So it's, everything follows the same format now anyway. So yeah, I think this is where I would kind of stop in terms of CV creation. So I would open the floor for any questions on what we've done and what you think. So quickly going back to how we created this actually for the template. So you just need to go to File, click New, then here you see, say File, New, and you search for resume, yeah, and you press Enter. This will give you several ones actually. So the last time that we came, we use this particular format, but today we kind of use this format, which I think is better, and we use this one. So if you actually wanted, you can also use this one as well. So let's see what that one gives to us. So this is what this one gives to you, as you can see. So, and there are other ones as well. So I wouldn't subscribe to this particular one anyway. So this is another good one, which I think you might also want to use as well. So yeah. This is okay, but if you like colors actually, so that, yeah. So okay. Okay, even though this is got columns, this is fine, because with this one, the columns are only for the headers, for the sub headers actually, which I think also is okay anyway. Yeah. So yeah, someone actually asked that, yeah, should I put my experience at the top, my education at the bottom? This is an example, but I don't really kind of like this approach, to be honest. So, but because sometimes if you've got a lot of experience and your experience is going to 4 pages or 5 pages, then they might not even get to your educational qualification. So why just not put everything that relates to you on the profile page, 1 page, then after that, everything is now experience to the end anyway. That's what I would do anyway. So yeah, this is also not bad, but to be honest, as you can see, it's got a good layout and as well. So yeah, so you just select the one that you want. This is another brilliant one as well. So yeah, so yeah. Of course, okay, this is cover letter. Maybe later we talk about cover letter. What do you need to put in there? So to be honest, maybe this is okay, but not the best one anyway. So I won't use this one at all, to be honest. So yeah, so and neither this one as well. So this one is still better. This one is okay. Not this one. I'm not sure about this anyway. So not this one. This is too busy for me, unless, yeah, but I think layout is good actually, to be honest. But if you put your things there, as you can see, maybe, yeah, maybe that also is good anyway. So yeah, so you just look at what you want and you put the content there anyway. So okay, so I think that one I passed. Okay, no. So I think the rest are cover letter, which you can. Okay, any question, you can type your question, or if you want to unmute, I think there's some questions there as well. is security certificate relevant place? Yeah, of course, security certificate. It depends on what you mean security certificate. If it's security certificate in terms of what's it called? Security of a property or a house, no. If you are talking about IT security, yes, I would say so. That is relevant. For majority of us who are switching careers, how do we add internship into our experience? Yeah, so I think that is, let me go back to the one that we did before then. Let me just select one of these so that we can see how it looks like. Okay, let's go back a bit. So let's select this one, which I think could be nice as well. Yeah, so this also could be nice as well. So yeah, it's got a good layout as well. So you can see name, objective, skills, experience, and it's got from and to. Yeah, so, and yeah, you can use that as well. So anyway, but one thing, any format that you use, ensure that you stick with the format. So now coming to that question about people in the internship, how do you use your put it on your CV? I think is this as well. So Scrum Master, blah, blah. You don't need to put internship because it's a work placement. So like this is what I would ask you to put. But please bear in mind, this is very, very important as a note of warning. So I would only be able to give you reference from December when the program starts, because that's where we started from. So from December to April, when we're going to finish, okay? So which means that approximately 5 months actually. So, but I know sometimes, yeah, I think we might also be able to do up to May. So because you finish in April, you might still be able to do some other things. We finish in, yeah. So that's what we can give you reference for. So please don't put 2020 in there. Don't put 2019, because I see some people after they put that and say, oh, Deji, I've got this job, I've got the reference. We are not going to give you reference for if you are not with us, right? So for instance, let's say you are in advance, of course, your reference still continues, or if you are already done the program before, and yeah, so yeah, that's fine. But if you are new to this program, we will only give you for the time that we interact with you, which is starting from December, that we said, okay, apply, and we did that. So that's one thing that you need to know. So because we want to maintain the integrity that we have, we give reference for the job that you do with us and everything. So that, please bear that in mind. Okay. So yeah, so you don't need to put intern, you don't need to put students, just put your role, the name Blue Sky Citadel, and the dates, and put your responsibility, and we give you reference, and you can put your project as well. That's fine. So yeah, so that is fine. So, and another question that comes here is like, okay, my question is okay, so the question that if one has to write all these details, how do we then limit the size of the CV to 2 pages? To be honest, I don't know. All right. So I'm not a fan of 2-page CV, to be honest. Even I do interview people. I think it's only one person that I saw the CV that 2-page actually. So I would say go with 2 to 3, to be honest. So if you don't have a lot of experience, to be honest. So because one, I'll tell you reason for doing this, right? For you putting this skill set, because for instance, if you remove this everything, right? So then maybe this CV might be 2-page, or you don't put profile, then yeah. But one thing is like, someone mentioned ATS. ATS is a tool that the recruiters are using to be able to filter out CVs and know if a CV is strong or it's not strong. Or some of them will use Word as well. So let's assume that they're looking for Agile, right? I'm looking for a Scrum Master that is good in Agile, right? What you would do, Control F, Agile. Okay. So you can see Agile appears 13 places here, right? In 13 places. If I remove this particular section, right? So, and I say Agile, appears in 8 places. Can you see? So if I now go back and say, oh, I don't need this one as well, and I remove this bit as well, and I only put my responsibilities and my job, and they are looking for Agile, and now it appears on 6 places. Where, okay, of course, I might need to remove it from all these places as well. So which means that you will see Agile appearing, or maybe only 1 or 2 places. So that is the reason why you need to use this approach, to be honest, because with that, your CV could be stronger than other people that particular buzzword they are looking for only appears 1 or 2 places. Some people, maybe they only put it here on their technical skills, that they didn't put it here as well. So it's going to only appear 1 or 2 times if you are lucky. So, but other people that use this approach, that particular skill or terminology might appear more than 1. So if you are a recruiter, where do you think you will go if someone's CV has appeared in 2 places? And another, not only that, you would also want to put it in your responsibilities as well, to be honest. You want to say, oh, generating blah blah using Azure, or writing test cases using Azure DevOps, or creating automation using Selenium with C# blah blah. Yeah, to be honest, you want to make sure that those buzzwords appear on your CV a lot. Actually, this is very, very important. Okay, can we put November 2022? No, sir, you cannot put November 2022. This program starts December 2022. Please take down. And this is very, very important, and this is recorded. I'll have to place it because someone was saying, oh, my mentor told us to put this. So I run this. There's no mentor that will tell you to go against what I said. Actually, this is very, very important. So it starts from December 2022, right, to the present time. Okay, but to be honest, you don't even need to use Blue Sky, right? If you have companies or friends, talk to them actually. So necessarily you don't need to use those actually as well. So what we do best is to be able to coach you and for you to get to the job. Well, if you don't need reference from us, yeah, to be honest, also all is good. You don't need to put Blue Sky on your CV. Okay. All right, another question. Yeah, how likely are you to be employed with only 5 months of experience when most of the, yeah, so this is a good question. Yeah, so and it depends on who you are, and there's still junior jobs there actually for people that don't have experience, but of course you are not going to be looking for 30,000 jobs or 50,000 jobs. So do you get it now? So there's also jobs that, yeah, basically maybe 20, 25 without any experience. Some of them will even coach you or train you, right? So that's another thing. So, and if you are fresh graduates, yeah, there are jobs for fresh graduates anyway. Do you get it now? So it depends on what you want. So yeah, so even one of my mentee only put 5, I think 6 months, yeah, or I think she was with me for almost a year. And no, that's what she put on CV, and she got a role as well. So yeah, so is it okay to have 2 employments as current on your CV, i.e. Blue Sky? No, I wouldn't. Yeah, no. So I wouldn't say so, to be honest. So because they will ask you why. The only thing I can say that might make you to be able to do so is because Blue Sky is a charity organization. Yeah, as a charity organization, you might, yeah, they might allow you to work for the organization for free. So where you still have your role, right? So say Blue Sky is just a part-time, I'm helping them doing this there. That is possible, but not like having full-time role together at the same time. Maybe that might not be okay. So, okay, as keyword, can I put system software as I have my previous job, blah, blah. Can I put system or software? Okay, can I put system or software I have used in my previous job, e.g. Amazon Space, Synergy, Connect? Yeah, of course, yeah. So because most of the things that you listed out there right now are kind of IT related tools or systems. Yeah, you can put them as well. So there's no problem. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, I think that is it for now. Any other question? Okay. All right. So I think that's it. So we will meet again next week, actually. So, yeah, so you can, what I can do, I can send a copy of this on this, but you don't need to use it, to be honest. So I would rather say create your own from scratch, so it's not related, it's not similar to other people. So yeah, so that's why I did not even put read text here because what I've seen in the time past that people just copy and then they start to send it out. And yeah, so, and I've seen some of my mentees that were on a board, right, interview board, they found 2 CVs similar. But fortunately, most of all of I think these 2 also went to Blue Sky as well. So since then, I've not been, I would rather do like a CV like this. Of course, you can't copy it anyway. If you copy it, then so okay, another question that just came through. As a student looking for internship for my course, do I include my internship program with Blue Sky? Yeah, of course you could do that actually, because one, I think they might even take you more because they know that you've got experience, right? Even if it's an internship that you are going for, so since you already got experience somewhere, it's better. And even for students as well. So it's really, really good because when you are going to finish, you are not finishing like a fresh graduate, you are finishing with people with experience. That is good. And another thing I said, as I started this, and I'm actually starting another program for majorly students that are under 25, actually, most especially that stay in school, BSc, and that will start in the next few months, actually, for those guys that are interested in that. So, but maybe focusing on students that are in the UK, basically. So yeah, so that program will start. So for majorly students, that's my area of focus right now. Okay. Are we going to require press to present our work portfolio or just work through job done? So I think you're talking about interviews, right? So yeah, so for interviews, so it could follow different ways actually. So, and one thing I can say is that for keyways, sometimes, so you might also sometimes require to show what you've done in your personal way. So what I can say is like, for you guys that are interested in automation, have a GitHub repository, put your code in there so that you can show. And I think even the DA as well, you have your Tableau repository that you can also use as well. For the BA as well, sometimes they might ask you to do a presentation of a product that you've done. But one thing I can also tell you, please, even though Blue Sky is, we can allow you to use your whatever you want, or with your code or the presentation that you've done, don't go to interview and present Blue Sky work when you have Blue Sky on your CV. It won't look nice because they will think you're working for Blue Sky or you work for Blue Sky, and then you are presenting work with Blue Sky. So it would actually put them aback, because what happens is like, are you showing your work that you've done at work to us? So which means that it doesn't send a good signal, actually, which also means that you can go to another company when they employ you to show their work as well. So that's, please bear in mind. Yeah, as a BA, you can, what I can ask you to do, the one that you've done on Blue Sky, do the same thing on a different platform. Use BBC, use Facebook, people, and you are not working for them, do you get now? But if you don't have Blue Sky on your CV, of course, use Blue Sky and use it to present, during interviews. What will you advise people with that IT background? Is 6 months? I think I've already answered that. So of course, 6 months. So I've seen people got a job. But having said that, one thing, some of what we think, oh, I don't have IT experience. But if you look back into your experience, you could also see some transferable skills as well, right? I saw some people that, okay, I work at Tesco and I don't have IT, but at Tesco, I work at a till. But every time they bring this particular till or POS to me to use, and before I use them, I have to test them. And now you're here as a tester and you think I haven't got experience as a tester. You have, maybe you have even done a UAT, done that. Do you get it now? Or you work as a care, and most of the things that you have to do will be also working on this particular application that they brought to you. You have to test it, or maybe you have to train some other staff as well to be able to do that. So, or you are even a Scrum Master now, but at your workplace, part of your role involves training people or mentoring people, or part of your role involves having to organize events as well. So whether you organize events for Owambe or you have events for parties or weddings, so events and ceremonies are basically the same. So do you do, I think I was speaking to some of my mentees that actually got jobs, said, okay, at my workplace, even though it was a bank, we don't do stand up. But however, every day we are standing up to actually give feedback on what we've done. So, but in Agile, we call it feedback. For other team, I call it different things. So you need to look inward to see what are the things that you've learned here that similar to what you've done before, but they are called differently, basically. Nomenclature will be different, but if it's the same format, the same way, so you look into that. So, and yeah, so another question, as a Scrum Master, and who has got certificate, security certificate? I think I've answered that. I said if security certificate is certificate IT security, that's fine. But if it's a security certificate in terms of having security of a property, I'm not sure, to be honest. So yeah, that should be related. So yeah. Is there a discount for advanced students, for students just like internship? Unfortunately, no, there's not actually. So, but I can look into it. I will speak to the team and see what we can do. But the only criteria to get discounts into advanced is by achievement. Actually, I kind of look into people's achievement and I reward them for that, not because you're a student or not, actually. So you are here now, you need to prove that you should be here. Then once you prove that and I can see what you've done, then of course you can get a discount to go into advanced. But I don't think they would do that. So, but the only thing that, yeah, I don't think so, to be honest. So okay, so the person is now, okay, security certificate comprises of application of conflict management. I think you know what you did. Do you get it now? As long as you can motivate that, do you get it now? You can say this is what it entails, and then it's fine. For me, I don't know what that security certificate entails, right? Yeah, but you need to be able to, yeah, portray it as a security certification, blah, blah, application conflict management, physical, yeah, I don't know, maybe physical intervention is there, but report writing, skills searching or something like that. So maybe, yeah. So working for the bank for 10 years before moving to Europe, I'm changing my career with the internship to earning. That include my years. Of course, you can't lose that, actually, right? You cannot lose that. So most companies are looking for people that got financial experience, right? And most of the applications that you've used at bank will be the one that either a BA would have to write requirement on or tester have to test it. So that experience is very, very important, to be honest, to say, I've used this particular tool. Could you imagine that they are looking for, I think there's Equinox, for instance, right? And you've used Equinox as a user in a bank, and then you are a BA now. To be honest, no one is going to train you how to use Equinox. You already know how it is. Where's the new requirement? You know what to do, right? The same way as well for people in care, right? You use, like for instance, I think the other one is a Cele Millennia or something like that. What it's called, yeah. So that particular tool, there are a lot of testers that are using it. There are BAs that are writing requirements on it as well. So you don't just lose it because you think, oh, I was in care or I was in NHS. These two, all those tools are also very, very important. Another question is, I am new to IT role, but working as a customer service, I'm a QA, and yeah, to be honest, that also is relevant for customer service. You have new tools that they give to you, right? Yeah, you also got attention to details as well, and you might also have to do UAT on the applications as well. You go how to deal with stakeholders as well. Do you get it now? So it's really, really relevant as well, to be honest. So are we presenting individual individually at the next demo or a single? Okay, that is a good question, actually. Very, very good question. So I think I will have to come back to you on that one, because if you are going to do individual presentation, and this is it. Okay, that's true. This is even the third sprint. Okay, I would say it should be individual, because yeah, this is third sprint and everyone should be able to do that. So what's going to happen? I will speak to the admin. So if they're here, let's do Saturday and Sunday, right? Saturday and Sunday, so that we have enough time. We start from 8 p.m. to 11, right? On those 2 days, actually, Saturday and Sunday. So an individual demo, but your demo should be in one deck. Okay, one deck, put everything in one deck, but then everyone should have their individual part. So at least we can give each one person maybe 1 minute to do their presentation. So which means that if you have 12 people in your team, that would be like approximately, let's say, 15 minutes altogether. So that's it. So let's do that individual demo, right? Yeah, do your elevator pitch and everything. So that's fine. So yeah, so individual demo, and yeah, on Saturday and Sunday, the admin will send you the schedule. Okay, so I think that is all the questions. Okay, another one is, because I'm trying to understand Azure comment for those in that tax. Okay. Okay, all right, that is it. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you later. Cheers.
Thank you, Deji.
Thank you very much, Deji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deji. Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
birthday.
Thank you.
Have a good
Enjoy the
evening.
rest of your
Thank
birthday.
you.
Enjoy what is left of your birthday.